Good morning, Your Honor, and I appear to you on behalf of the defendant, Ms. Hans Volvic. This is a plea in mitigation on behalf of Ms. Hans, who have pleaded guilty to the offense of fraud. Your Honor, you have an outline of the facts from the CPS. Can I outline further? Thank you. Your Honor, do you have a copy of the pre-sentencing report? Thank you. In my submissions today, I will address the purpose of sentencing, the guidelines to sentencing, the custody thresholds, mitigating factors, and finally, the appropriate sentence. My first submission relates to the purpose of sentencing. Your Honor, pursuant to Section 57(2) of the Sentencing Act 2020, the court is required to consider the purpose of sentencing, and it outlined the need for the sentencing to meet the protection of the public, the reduction of crime, the punishment of the offender, the reform and rehabilitation of the offenders, and make reparation to the victim of the offender's crime. In this case, the relevant purposes are punishment and rehabilitation. While the court will rightfully regard the offense of dishonesty as serious, the circumstances of this offense do not engage wider consideration of deterrence or public protection. I will be referring to the relevant purposes of sentence throughout my submission. Turning to the Sentencing Council's fraud guidelines, applied pursuant to Section 59 of Sentencing Act 2020, the sentencing guidelines must be followed. Looking at the sentencing guideline, turning firstly to culpability, there is no evidence of Category A culpability. The offense was not sophisticated. It did not involve group activities nor planning, and no deliberate targeting of the victims. Further, examining the PSR, Your Honor, you can see that Hans' culpability is low due to lack of planning, illness during pregnancy, and a single omission. It is submitted that culpability falls into Category C. Taken cumulatively, these factors significantly reduce both culpability and the need for punitive sentencing. The value of the ring, £12,500, placed the financial harm at Category 4. However, as the guideline makes clear, where there is the risk of loss but no actual loss, the normal approach is to move down one category. In this case, there was no financial loss to the victims, and harm therefore falls within Category 5. The victim impact, which is assessed by the actual emotional and psychological impact on the victim, was low, as there was no actual loss. The emotional impact was minimal. Now, Your Honor, applying the culpability grade of C and financial harm of 5 on Table 1, we see that the starting point is Band B fine, which ranges from discharge to medium-level community order. Your Honor, the custody threshold under Section 230 of the Sentencing Act 2020 is plainly not crossed. This was an isolated, non-sophisticated offense committed by a first-time offender. Custody would be disproportionate and would serve no rehabilitation purpose. In addition, any custodial sentence would place additional burden upon Hans, who is a single parent, depriving her newborn of its mother's care. There is no identifiable aggravating factors. The mitigating factors are substantial. These include genuine remorse and full cooperation, significant medical mitigation, namely hyperemesis during pregnancy, as identified by the pre-sentencing report, no previous conviction, no loss to the victim, a very low risk of reoffending. Hans is a single mother to a newborn child. She has already suffered significant personal consequences, including the breakdown of her relationship with the fiancé. Hans admits a guilty plea at the first opportunity, attracting full credit under Section 73 of the Sentencing Act 2020. In these circumstances, Your Honor, the sentence that best reflects proportionality, rehabilitation, and the guidance of the Sentencing Council is a conditional discharge, as recommended by the probation services. Such a sentence marked the seriousness of the offense while allowing Ms. Volvic to continue caring for her child and to move forward as a law-abiding member of society. Your Honor, Ms. Volvic accepts full responsibility for her actions and is highly unlikely to reoffend. I respectfully submit that a conditional discharge is the just and appropriate sentence. Unless I can assist the court further, these are my submissions.